What we have here is a Supro Amulet 110 that I put some chicken beaks on to spruce it up a little bit. Playing through it, first time I noticed a lot of heat in this area here. Amp sounds fantastic, by the way, any genre you want. We need a vent. We got to get some of that heat out of here. So let's see what we can do. So what you have here is a 2-inch vent, 2-inch hole, a little lip to cover. Ordered off of Amazon. I can give you the brand name a little later. But what we're going to try to do is put a 2-inch hole somewhere in that area. I'll center it up, measure, and we'll see if we can't get a vent there that lets us look, kind of peek into and even see the tubes glowing in there. Will be kind of cool. So as you can see, looking at the back here, there's not any way really for heat to get out of a lot of small combo amps, and they do get hot. And for me, keeping things cool means longevity. So we're gonna crack her open, see what we see what we can do. Well, you won't see it on the video, but the back panel is actually poplar plywood, no particle board or anything weird. They did a very good job shielding it. As you see, that shielding will mate right up with the whole chassis. And this was the original plan. Just have a cooling fan, rechargeable battery kind of thing. But I wanted something a little easier and not have to deal with a lot of crap. So, and it's a longer cord. They give you one that's about 6 feet long. It's just an ICC, regular computer cable. So I threw one in there that's about 10 feet long. So let's take the chassis out. So here's a look inside the cabinet. This is actual poplar plywood. There's no particle board there. All of the screws are machine head screws that thread into inserts, metal inserts, rather than just throwing wood screws into it. Pretty decent cable. Pretty decent reverb cable, speaker cable. And here's your reverbs. Your white and your red, but you're marked on the bottom of the chassis, or forward side of the chassis, if you will. Everything looks pretty good. We're going to take some measurements. Okay, so we've measured and marked. One important thing would be to run the hole saw backwards until you get through the Tolex. You might rip that if you don't. And of course, you could just tape up a old crappy shop towel in there to catch the dust. And I'm going to finish going backwards through it, finish off this area, and then we'll switch and go forward and see what we get. Okay, so here we are. Use the drill backwards until you get through the Tolex. Now I'm ready to switch directions, go the other way. This is a look at what I'm using. It's just a standard 2-inch hole saw, any brand, doesn't matter, as long as it's new and sharp. Well, let's continue cutting. And we are through. It's some pretty nice looking poplar plywood there. No cracks or gaps or anything, but I have noticed that the cover is only 3 inches deep, and this is 3/4 of an inch deep. So I'm going to tape this off with some masking tape, some painter's tape up from underneath. And I'm going to paint this inside with some black latex or high temperature paint, whatever I happen to have around. So I'll be right back. Okay, so we've got the vent in, and I've positioned it pretty much. It's going to be above and slightly to the side of the power tube. This was the hottest area of the control panel when I had it running for about an hour. So I think that'll be plenty of ventilation, and you'll be able to look in there and see those nice glowing tubes. Okay, we've been cooking along for 45 minutes with the volume on all the way up where it should be, and we're at 5 watts. I do feel some heat definitely coming out of here, but this chassis is staying nice and cool. Before I could touch this without burning myself, but it was hot. This is cool to the touch, no hotter than room temperature. So that's great. The PCB is going to love that. Longevity is key. I don't have a stand, so take a close look at this towel. I'll play us out.